Hey guys, this is Chris here again, and I'm back to tell another My Life story. So, a lot of people, or well, a few people may know that I used to work at a movie theater, worked there as a manager for about 9 years. So, I have seen, heard, and maybe even done a few things that is like extremely funny, strange, or weird of all the weird things that happens at movie theaters. And so, this is my story, or just one of the stories that involved me and offending a person at the theater, so a customer at the theater. So this is my story here. So I was actually selling tickets one day, and this was at a time whenever we weren't very busy. So not only was I selling the ticket to somebody, but I was also the person tearing them at the same time. So I had to sell the ticket and then tear the ticket for them as well, and all that stuff, and let them know where the theater was and all that. So this man walks in and he buys a ticket from me. It's an older man. He's probably in his like 70s or 80s. And if you know me, I don't want to offend people when I'm talking to them person on person, especially if it's just kind of like a normal day-to-day situation, you know. I try to be as nice to people as I possibly can. And so this old man, he comes in, he walks up, and he buys his ticket. And I actually think his wife might have bought his ticket for him. He was with his wife. And I directed him to which side the theater was on, and then we weren't busy at all. So I sat back down on my seat, and right as soon as I sat down, I see this man, walk back out to the counter again, and he looked at me and I said, "Can I help you, sir?" And he goes, "Yes, I need to go out to my car. Will I be able to get back in?" And he held up his ticket, and I said, "Yes. Whenever you walk back in, just show me your stub, and I'll let you back in. It'll be no problem." And the guy gives me this really strange look, and I didn't know why he was staring at me. He just stood there and stared at me for a moment, and then said, "Oh, okay," and then walked out the door like quickly. I was like, that's a little strange. And then a minute or two goes by, and I see his wife that was with him walk past the counter, and she rushed by me real quick, and I was like, it's like, man, I wonder if something happened. What happened? And they never came back in. I have no idea why they came back in. And maybe an hour comes by or whatever, and the guy comes back into the theater, and him and his wife were there, and they're talking with somebody about buying another ticket because they didn't get to see the movie earlier. And I look over and I see the guy, and the guy doesn't have a hand. He has a nub. He has a little stub nub thing or whatever. He doesn't have a hand. And he has the ticket, the torn ticket or whatever, grinched between his little nub, and he's holding it up, showing them or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I totally just told that guy that if he shows me his stub, I'll let him back into the theater. So, I really offended this guy. I think he thought that I was talking about his hand, his missing hand stub, that if he comes back to the theater, if he just waves that, in my face or whatever, I'll let him back in because I would recognize him or something. I think maybe he walked out and called his wife, and he was like, "I don't want to take this. I'm going to take it." Offended me. I have no idea, but I just thought it was really strange that I told him that, and then immediately he left and his wife left or whatever. They were probably trying to come back when I wasn't there working or something, but I can't believe that I told a guy who had no hand to show me his stub. And I was talking about the ticket stub, so I was like, just show me your ticket, your stub. I should have said ticket, but he said, show me your stub, and he didn't. He had an actual stub. So that's my story, my kind of embarrassing story about offending a old man with no hand, I guess. So that's it. See you guys.